Hi friends, I'm coming to you today and I have a book recommendation for you. The book is called Winterhouse and it's by Ben Guterson. The book was chosen to be on the Sequoia Award book list. The Sequoia Awards are given by the Oklahoma Library Association each year. They're given to books in children's literature. There's a list created and readers read the books and then they vote for the one that they like best. This one just was on the list for those awards. You might like Winterhouse if you liked the Harry Potter series, or if you liked the series of Unfortunate Events books, the Lemony Snicket books. If you like books about mysteries and maybe spooky settings, or books with characters who might have special abilities, things like that, you might like Winterhouse. So it is a chapter book, but I would encourage you to give it a try. It is on Hoopla. You can read it on Hoopla. You can read it on Overdrive for Kids. And if you need help finding those and accessing books, look at the video that I did last week, or send me an email, and I can help you with that. So let's get started. I'm just going to read you the first chapter to hopefully pique your interest and see what I'll be interested to see what you guys think. Our main character is Elizabeth Summers, and her school has just ended for winter break, and that is where chapter 1 begins. At the beginning of each chapter, there's a little word puzzle where one word is given, note, and then one letter of the word is changed to make a new word. So note, node, mode, made, mate, and gate. That kind of puzzle comes in handy for Elizabeth, as she kind of falls into a mystery, and she has to kind of use her cleverness and her smarts to solve the mystery. So chapter 1. When Elizabeth Summers tugged open the gate to her aunt and uncle's yard and saw an envelope duct taped to the front door, she knew it was bad news. The porch steps, which her uncle Burlap never kept clean, were slick with snow and ice, and so Elizabeth stepped up carefully, set down her backpack, and slid her hood from her head with a wet shake. She already had a pretty good idea of what the note inside the envelope would say as she plucked it from the door and then opened it. The note read, "We informed you several times we would be going on a 3-week getaway, and you would not be staying alone while we are gone. So you won't be surprised to find this letter. The house is locked tight. There's a ticket for the 6:20 train north in this envelope. Catch that train, and when you get off in the morning at Sternhaven, there will be a ticket waiting for you at the bus station. Get on the bus that goes to Winterhouse Hotel. They will be expecting you. Here's $3 in case you need anything on the way. You'll get another ticket to come back after the new year. Don't cause trouble for anyone, and none of your nonsense." Elizabeth studied the train ticket. Here she is, reading her letter on her porch. She studied the train ticket. 6:20 was in 3 hours. The first 3 hours of her 24 days of Christmas vacation. And as they had promised after lecturing her for the past 2 weeks about how they were leaving for Christmas and Elizabeth would be sent away, her aunt and uncle really were gone. Elizabeth glanced at the street through her foggy glasses. The snow was falling harder. A plastic grocery bag hung on the doorknob. Elizabeth peeked inside and saw it was filled with 3 of her shirts, 2 pairs of socks, a pair of pants, and some undergarments. She examined the 3 grimy dollar bills that her Aunt Purdy had put in the envelope, and she imagined her aunt peeling them from her coin purse with her thin fingers and reluctantly putting them inside. In Elizabeth's imagination, Uncle Burlap was standing beside her and eyeing the money doubtfully, as if even $3 was too much. She let this picture fade away like the steam of her breath in the chill air. Elizabeth read the note one more time. She stuffed it into her jacket pocket with the money and the ticket, and then unzipped her backpack. From the bottom of it, beneath the 4 paperbacks the school librarian had allowed her to check out for winter break, and her own copy of Anne of Green Gables, Elizabeth removed a pen and a small notepad. The notepad was spiral bound along the top edge, green covered and worn with creases, the sort of notepad a waiter might use to take your order at a restaurant. Elizabeth flipped it open, and on the 5th page, entry number 43 on her list of reasons why I do not like my aunt and uncle, she wrote, "Because they are sending me to a hotel in the middle of nowhere during Christmas with no money and hardly any clothes." She returned the notepad to its place and then put the plastic grocery bag inside her backpack and zipped it all closed. She was about to leave, but she found herself staring at the strip of duct tape that had held the envelope, and her breath rising high and tight in her chest and her eyes began to water. Then, before she realized what she was doing, she slammed her palm against the plywood door. The sound, a sharp thwack, like the noise of a book dropped on a wooden floor, startled Elizabeth, made her wonder just what had gotten into her. She looked around to see if anybody had been watching, but all was silent. An empty street in the growing darkness, with the snow falling more heavily now. Elizabeth sighed. She picked up her backpack. Why can't I have my parents back? She thought. And then, because there were no friends she might possibly ask to stay with for 3 weeks, and no chance of avoiding her aunt and uncle's anger if she didn't follow their instructions, Elizabeth turned to walk the 1.5 miles to the station and wait for the 6:20 train to Sternhaven. She hoisted her backpack onto her shoulders and retraced her steps to the gate, and right as she stepped out of the yard and onto the sidewalk, the feeling came over her. She froze into place, wide-eyed, and wondered what was going to happen this time. Her heart began to beat quickly. All was silent, and then a loud crash sounded behind her. That's the end of chapter 1. Elizabeth goes to Winterhouse, which is an amazing place, an amazing hotel. And it also has a library, an amazing library. Oops. And she kind of stumbles into a mystery. She meets some mysterious characters that she can't quite figure out whether they're good or bad or what they're up to. And she meets a friend at the hotel who is a lot like her in a lot of ways. And then she also kind of gets to know this thing inside her, this feeling that she gets. And she has to figure out what that's about and figure out kind of how to use it in order to solve her mystery. So a great read, fun read. And so take a look at that. And if this isn't your cup of tea, if you don't, this doesn't appeal to you, get on Hoopla and look for some other things. There's all sorts of choices on there. And of course, if you need ideas, I'm always available through email. So anyway, friends, I hope this kind of gets your reading brain going again. And I will chat with you guys later. Bye.